Latest Chiefs news. Chiefs fans, hold on tight. Andy Reid's decision is causing a stir. One of the team's key players had to deny an unbelievable bombshell. And to top it all off, Patrick Mahomes was the target of a provocation that no one expected. And look, this last one was in a way that took everyone by surprise. The last few hours have been hectic in Kansas City, and you need to stay up to date with everything. So leave a like because today's news is unmissable. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't just lose Super Bowl 59, they got smoked. The Philadelphia Eagles came in and flat out dominated, walking away with a commanding 40-22 win. And honestly, that score doesn't even tell the full story of how lopsided this thing was. The Eagles were simply the better team, outplaying KC in every possible way. You knew things were going south fast when Patrick Mahomes threw a brutal first half pick six, putting Philly up 17-8. By halftime, 24-0. At one point in the third quarter, it was 34-0, 34-0. The Chiefs didn't even sniff the end zone until the final seconds of the third quarter when the game was already well out of reach. Just a straight up nightmare performance. After a loss that ugly, what do you even say to your team? That's where Andy Reid came in. And according to Travis Kelce, his message was simple. Let it hurt. Feel it, then figure out how to get better because of it. And honestly, that's the perfect thing to say. This wasn't just a loss. It was a historic missed opportunity. The Chiefs were on the verge of doing something no team in the Super Bowl era has ever done, win 3 straight championships. They had a shot at cementing themselves as the dynasty of this generation. Instead, they got completely outclassed, and that dream went up in flames. But let's not forget, winning Super Bowls is hard. The fact that Kansas City has won 3 since 2020 is already an incredible feat. It just makes this loss sting even more because they were so close to rewriting history. That said, if there's one thing we know about Mahomes, Reid, and this squad, it's that they don't back down from adversity. So yeah, this one's gonna hurt. But maybe that's exactly what the Chiefs need. A little extra fire for 2025. A reason to reload, regroup, and come back stronger. If there's any team that can turn this kind of devastation into motivation, it's Kansas City. We'll see if they can flip the script next year and turn this pain into another championship run. If there's one thing this Super Bowl has made clear, it's that the Chiefs are going to have a lot of things to deal with outside of the game. And one of those things was a rumor so absurd that it caught even the most attentive fans by surprise. Don't believe everything you see online, especially when it comes from a sketchy account with a misspelled name. Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins had to remind everyone of that on Tuesday after a fake tweet about his retirement spread like wildfire. In today's social media world, it's not uncommon for trolls to impersonate big-name reporters just to stir the pot, and that's exactly what happened here. A fake Adam Schefter account with the handle @AdamSchiwonfer, with a sneaky 1 instead of an L, posted a bogus report claiming Hopkins had told Andy Reid he was retiring after 11 seasons in the league. Now, if you took a second to actually read the tweet, the terrible spelling and grammar should have been a dead giveaway that it was fake. But of course, that didn't stop some big accounts from falling for it and sharing it like it was legit. Before you knew it, the post had racked up over 1.5 million impressions. And once Hopkins caught wind of it, he wasted no time shutting it down himself. Don't know what you heard, but I'm not done yet, he posted on X, making it crystal clear that retirement isn't in his plans just yet. That said, while Hopkins may not be walking away from the game, his future in Kansas City is far from certain. In just 6 days, his contract will void, making him one of the Chiefs' many free agents heading into the 2025 season. There's no guarantee he'll be back, but based on his message to Chiefs Kingdom after that brutal Super Bowl loss, it sounds like he's at least open to returning and finishing what they started. Hopkins' first season in Kansas City wasn't exactly record-breaking. He put up 41 catches for 437 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2024. In the playoffs and Super Bowl LAX, his impact was minimal, with just 3 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown on 8 targets. Still, his veteran presence could be valuable for a team looking to reload and make another run next year. For now, though, one thing's for sure. Hopkins isn't calling it quits. And next time, maybe double check that Twitter handle before believing every breaking news post you see. Now, if you think you've seen it all, wait until you hear what they did to Mahomes. At the worst possible time, one of the biggest brands in the world decided to take a very unsubtle swipe at the Chiefs QB. Alright, so we all know the Kansas City Chiefs just got absolutely wrecked in Super Bowl LAX by the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that wasn't just a loss. It was an all-out dismantling, outplayed, outcoached, out everything. This might have been the worst defeat in Chiefs history, maybe even worse than the one they took against Tampa Bay a few years back. And yeah, it stings. Bad. Fans are hurting, players are hurting, and you know Patrick Mahomes, who just had the worst game of his career on the biggest stage, is feeling it more than anyone. The guy was chasing a historic three-peat, and instead, he walked off the field with one of the roughest performances we've ever seen from him. So you'd think that would be enough, right? Take your L, move on, regroup for next season. But apparently one of the biggest brands in the world decided that wasn't quite enough suffering for Mahomes. Because right after the game, they dropped a commercial that took a not-so-subtle shot at the Chiefs' superstar. Now, if you know Mahomes, you know he's an Adidas guy through and through. He's got his own logo, his own shoes, even his own custom Texas Tech uniforms with his branding. And that clearly doesn't sit well with some brands, especially Nike, who never even had a shot at signing him. Let's be real, if Nike had Mahomes, he'd be the biggest football athlete, no question. But they don't. And maybe, just maybe, that's why they decided to take a dig at him in their Super Bowl victory ad for the Eagles. Now, don't get it twisted. The Eagles absolutely earned the right to celebrate their championship however they want. They balled out. They dominated, and they deserve all the shine. But the way Nike did it, that's where things get interesting. See, they had none other than Kermit the Frog narrating the whole thing. And if you've been on the internet for more than 5 minutes, you already know that Mahomes' voice has been compared to Kermit for years. It's one of those jokes that just won't die. Coincidence? Come on now. We all know this was a calculated move. Nike saw an opportunity to twist the knife, and they took it. And honestly, this is just what happens when you're that guy. Mahomes isn't just a superstar anymore. He's the villain now, the hunted. And when you're at the top, people will do anything to take their shots. The Kansas City Chiefs have had one of the most intense weeks in recent years. In addition to a historic defeat, there was fake news and even provocation coming from where no one expected. What can we take away from all this? That next season will be different. Either the Chiefs use this as fuel to come back even stronger, or this could be the beginning of the end of their era of dominance. So, what do you think, fans? Comment below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news.